Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yeah, I know they trying to take away the pronouns and have you on some confusing type shit, but I'm gonna stick to the basics, alright? Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what this is. It's King Astro for all y'all who wanna what, wanna know. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last call, last chance. Last call for alcohol. You already know what it is. Something huge is about to take place. Something grand. A grand event is on the way, so I hope you're prepared. I hope you're getting ready, and we're going to talk about it. Alright? So, you know how this thing goes. I'll catch you on the flip side. Now bring in my theme music. Alright, guys, welcome back again. Thanks for coming. Thank you for listening. Just a few things I wanted to discuss with you guys about a couple things that have been having on my mind. Um, well, I don't know if you feel it, but I sure feel it. I feel it in my spirit, I feel it in my bones. And I know a lot of you guys feel it out there too. Welcome, welcome everybody. Thanks again for stopping by and listening to my video. And I hope you do enjoy the gameplay. This is a very, very interesting game. It's called The Last of Us. Yes, it's called The Last of Us. And I feel like it's a very fitting game to discuss. It's a very fitting title to discuss a lot of the issues we're having on Earth, a lot of the things we're going through on Earth, a lot of events that have been happening on our planet. Yes, this game is called The Last of Us, and I do feel like a game like this represents kind of the times that we're in, you know? If you're here listening to this video, listening to these words, just know that you are the chosen one, and this is The Last of Us. Okay? 'Cause this is the last go round, you know? And that's why I titled this video The Last Call, The Last Chance, The Last Call for Alcohol, because it just feels like it's those final minutes, you know, if you ever go out to a party or whatever, you know, those final minutes before the club shuts down. It just feels like that, you know, when the DJ spin the record, when the DJ stop, well, he doesn't stop the music, but when the DJ say, hey, last call, you know, you get that feeling like, oh man, you know, especially if you were having a good night, you're like, oh man, it's about to be over. You know what I mean? Or either it's about to be over and you're about to go continue the fun somewhere else, or it's over, good night, you know, sayonara, thanks for coming. You don't have to go home, but you gotta get the F out of here, you know what I mean? Oh man, yeah, this was a trip. By the way, I was you're gonna see me kind of go back and forth on this game, but I was kind of confused as to if I had missed a whole bunch of things and I wanted to backtrack. So I kind of spent a lot of time diddly daddling, but just excuse me, you know. But yes, this game is called The Last of Us, and it's a very fitting game, and as you can see, it's very post-apocalyptic. It's very dystopian, and As you can see, the undead are walking around. The walking dead, or as you want to call them, the living dead. Uh, Zombies, I don't like to say that word because I don't know if the algorithm knocks that out, but as you can see, there's various creatures that are here, which I believe were mutated through some kind of infection. And there's very few people left. Yes, there's very few people left, and the very people left are stuck in survival mode. Uh, Sometimes the humans do clash with each other for survival, but the main enemies are the Walking Dead. These ones they have right here are called the Clickers. Very fierce. You know, if they get you one time, it's over. Unless you have a special kind of weapon where you can counteract. But I don't want to get too much off topic. All I'm saying is scenarios like this is a possibility. You know, with everything that's going on, scenarios like this could be a possibility. Okay, with the biochemical warfare that has been waged upon the citizens of Earth, you know, the spraying in the skies, you know, uh, the pharmaceuticals, you know, the poison in the food, in the water. You know what I mean? We got poison in the food, the water, in the skies, and right now we all should be wearing a gas mask like she is right there. You know, if we could really see the pores and the spores in the air, we all should be wearing a gas mask. But the Earth is trying to heal itself. But these damn entities just keep spraying and dumping chemicals, making it hard for her to replenish herself. So Mother Earth, you know, it will have to do it regardless. But once it does it, going to be catastrophic. It's not going to be pretty. You know what I mean? But a cleanup is definitely needed. Um, a cleanup is needed for sure. And like I said, this is that last call. You know, these are the final hours, and I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like a reset, a global reset. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's about to be restarted. Okay, at a whole new level that's unprecedented, like we've never seen it before. And that's the scary part, is because in history they've had a bunch of resets, right? Different types of resets. They've had economical resets, you know. Um, they've had wars, and they've had catastrophic weather events that pretty much reset geographical areas wherever this weather anomaly took place. You know what I'm saying? So wherever these weather anomalies took place, there was sort of a reset there. You know, there was, and back in history, there was a reset in the dinosaur age, and then the ice age was a reset, and then the dark ages, when the plagues came, that was also another reset. You know, another type of reset. So it seems like right now there's another kind of reset that's happening. You know, we just went through a couple years of the planned pandemic. You know what I'm saying? That had everybody on edge. That had everybody rethinking everything about life from start to finish, you know? And a lot of changes were made in those 2 years that this whole debacle took place. Okay, there was a lot of fear, a lot of propaganda, you know? A lot of people being forced to do things that they didn't want to do. And a lot of people did things willingly. But a lot of people were forced and put in a hard position, a tough position, had to make choices, whether it was losing their job or losing something valuable to them. And a lot of people were just stuck. A lot of people were caught off guard because they didn't think it was gonna happen. They didn't think it was gonna come here. But folks, I mean, there've been warnings out there. There've been signs. People been trying to prepare you. I subliminally been trying to tell people. 2 years before the pandemic, I've been streaming online playing video games. Okay, go check me out. My other channel is the Black Goo. I'm the Black Goo Gamer. The Black Goo Gamer. I've been streaming for 2 years straight with nothing but a mask on, way before the pandemic. 2 years before the pandemic. And I call myself the Black Goo. I mean, if you know what that is, that's something that's in the venom. It's something that's in the snake bite. Okay? The nano tech, the symbiotes, some kind of metals and magnetic properties that they put in this snake bite. And a lot of people went for it. A lot of people went for the okie doke and took the stabby stab. But to each his own. I'm not here to judge. I just wanted people to make an informed decision, do their own research, and stop falling for the propaganda. People need to do their research and stop falling for the propaganda, going for whatever the TV tells them. TV tells them, oh, this is happening, fear, 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 take this. This is happening, fear, 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 take that. And it's sad because a lot of people fell for it. A lot of families were destroyed over this. If people were in relationships and one person wanted it and the other person did it, people had to go to war with their family members. There was just a lot of chaos behind this thing. And for 2 years, people had to put up with it. They had to put up with the lockdowns and all the fear, propaganda that was just shoved in people's faces. And now they're saying we come out of it. As soon as the true information about it comes out, our focus changes. And now everybody's focusing on the battle that's going on between the Rushmen and the Ukrainians. And that right there is a mess within itself. I don't think any of us can clean that up. It's already set in stone that the war is going to take place. The war is already happening. We are literally in the battle and people don't even know it. I mean, you can tell we're in the middle of something. You got the gas prices skyrocketing, food inflation. The prices on meat is skyrocketing. Which I have to say, if you still eating meat, you need to start trying to wean yourself off of it. I'm not saying you have to stop, but you want to start weaning yourself off of it because the prices will keep going up, and there's gonna be a shortage. And what are you gonna do if you can't get your fill on flesh? There will be those who are addicted to flesh, so much so that they'll start to eat each other. This will happen. This will go down. It's already written in prophecy. And that's why you get movies like The Walking Dead, or you get games like The Last of Us. because scenarios like this are very real and are very, very probable. So as a collective, we do have to be prepared. We do have to start getting ready, you know, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. That's what's most important. Because when the global reset happens, a lot of people are going to be confused. They're not going to know what's going on. They're going to want answers. And there's going to be a lot of fear, which is just going to put them in a bad place. When you're operating off of fear, you make bad choices, bad decisions. But if you kind of have an idea, a knowledge, if you kind of have a clue of what's going on, then you can kind of sort through the mess. Then you can kind of think clearly of what's your next move. What do you want to do next? But the global reset is happening, you know. There's a conspiracy, so I'm gonna just say allegedly there's a conspiracy, of course, to depopulate. They're trying to depopulate the whole earth. Oh no. Yeah, once they get you, it's over with. Very gruesome, very gruesome. But like I said, fam, they trying to reduce the population. Okay, you saw it written in the Georgia Guidestones, right? You saw what it says in the Georgia Guidestones. They trying to take it down from 8 billion to 500 million, right? So basically, they're trying to wipe out 99.9% of the Earth's population, right? And keep everything under a billion, 500 million, so they can control them, right? Under the B system, you know what I'm saying? The new world system that they trying to implement, right? So in order to implement this new system, this beast has to make everything fall, has to collapse everything. Because he's trying to bring in that one world, that new world, order out of chaos. And there's a lot of chaos happening right now. So the plan is to depopulate. But first they need to change the system, right? So in order to change the system, they had to change the economical system. So the dollar, the almighty dollar, you know, that has to crash pretty much. And it's already crashed, to be quite honest. The dollar doesn't really have any value. It never had any value since, I don't know, was it the 80s or the 60s when it wasn't backed by gold anymore? So, I mean, it's been valueless for a while now. You know, people just didn't know it. You just didn't know it yet. But it means absolutely nothing. It's just paper. So people have been working for nothing. Just spending your energy, because that's what it's about. It's about energy, right? And the richer got richer and the poor got poorer. So, and now, they trying to make it really, really extreme, where 99% of the population owns nothing, and 1% owns everything, which is what it is right now. But they want you to own nothing and be happy. So what are they going to give you? The metaverse. Where are they going to give you? The metaverse. Let you put your energy, get plugged in, literally get plugged into the matrix, and stay in the world that they created, right? But I don't know, that shit not gonna work. I mean, for me it ain't. There's nothing appealing about it. Um, but of course, you know, they're gonna try to make it appealing. Come up with some new technology, some new type of glasses where you can wear and walk around and everything's augmented. You know, but the main goal is for you to stay in your room and stay in your house and don't go nowhere. You know, so they put a permanent lockdown on your ass. And instead of going outside and in the real life, you just go outside in the metaverse to see what's popping. And whatever they say is popping, that's the world you live in. So the collapse is very imminent because it's being orchestrated. You know, after the money goes down, uh, through inflation, you know, it's gonna make it hard to afford food to eat. You know, so they trying to get people stressed out about that, and then the food shortages. So they trying to starve some people out, which is crazy. You know, this is why you kind of have to start getting used to not eating so much. You kind of have to start getting your body used to going without. That's why I said if you eat 3 times a day, then just know that that's not normal. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to eat 3 times a day. You don't need food 3 times a day. Whoever told you that lied to you. Okay? The way the body works is if you're eating 3 times a day and you're not pooping 3 times a day, okay? If you're eating 3 times a day, 3, 4, 5 meals a day, and you're only pooping once a day, you're not pooping 3 times a day, then you are backed up. Okay? If you eating 3 times a day and only pooping once a day, then guess what? You backed up with excess poop. You backed all the way up with excess poop and don't even know it. And the reason you get hungry enough to want to eat 3 times a day is because you have parasites in your stomach and you don't even know it. That's right. You got parasites. You got worms. You got living parasites in your abdomen, in your stomach, in your solar plexus, feeding off of you. Okay, so most of the time, well, all of the time, these worms they want the meat. You know, they want the sugar. So when you get that craving and you get hungry and you hear that rumbling in your tummy, you know that bubbling in your tummy. Those are the worms. That's not your stomach empty and full of acid saying it needs food. Those are the worms. Those are the parasites in your stomach saying, feed me now. Okay, and they do some kind of thing where they release a chemical to your brain that makes you think you're hungry and want to eat. And so you feed them, and so they eat the food, then they poop, and then you poop. I repeat myself, they eat your food, then they poop in you, and then you poop out what they poop. So you're not even pooping what you digested, you're pooping what they digested. Alright? If you're eating 3 times a day and you feel the need to eat 3 times a day, you need to detoxify, you need to cleanse, you need to fast. Of course, only if the doctor recommends it and you have no health issues and you're a perfectly healthy human being. I repeat, if you're a perfectly healthy human being, right, you don't have any health dilemmas or issues or ailments, then you can fast. I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving you medical advice. Make sure you consult your doctor first. Alright? I'm not giving any medical advice. This is just from my experience and from what I've done, and it seems to work for me. So, fasting gets rid of these parasites in your stomach. Okay? I do intermittent fasting, meaning intermittent fasting. I'm not saying it right. Intermittent fasting, okay, which means I eat one meal a day, right? So I try to eat my meal before 7, but if I don't get it in, I don't get it in, whatever. But usually I go for one meal a day, okay? And right now, it's taking me 2 years, but I've worked my diet down to pretty much 90% of what I eat is just fruits, you know? I started out cutting back on the meat, right? And then after I got comfortable, you know, I cut back on the dairy and the milk, right? I just started cutting back on a lot of stuff, and then from there, when you wean off of it, I started eating less, you know, start eating 2 meals, and then went down to one meal, right? And then I decided, hey, I'm gonna go on a fast. So periodically, like once a month, I will go on a 3-day fast or a 4-day fast, where I do nothing but just drink water. And that really helped detoxify my body and get it back to where it needed to be, get everything working. Because the thing is, digestion takes a lot of work, and when your body is constantly digesting food, is using a lot of energy, right? But if you have an empty stomach, not completely empty, but to the point where your stomach is not always using its energy to digest its food, then it can use its energy for other stuff, like healing. Then it can use energy to create new cells, to create new blood cells, create new brain cells. You know what I'm saying? New skin cells. Instead of putting that to the back burner, it brings it up to the forefront, because digestion is pretty much a major function of the body, right? Because you got a digestive system. So any system that you got is a major function. It takes a lot of energy, and it's pretty much takes precedent over everything else. So look at it like this: your body kind of has a hierarchy system, right? Where it will look at the most important thing, and it'll allocate its energy sources accordingly. So let's say you have to digest your food, but you also have, I don't know, a broken leg or something. You just got a cut in your leg, right? Well, if you're eating 3 times a day, your body's gonna be like, well, I need the energy to digest this food, so I'm gonna use 90% of the energy to digest the food, and then I'm gonna only take 10% of the energy to heal that broken leg or that cut. So now, your body's working overtime to digest this food because it got to get it out the way, and it's not focusing on healing the injury that you have. So now it takes longer to even heal your injury, as opposed to if you were intermittent fasting, right? If you were eating less a day, okay, if you're only eating one time a day, and your body's digested your food, your body says, okay, now I've used the energy that I needed to digest the food. I have energy left. Now I'm gonna take 80-90% of that energy, right, and put it towards healing, and then you heal faster. So who would have thought eating less and fasting makes you actually heal, makes your internal body heal faster, exterior heal faster too. It speeds up the production of new cells, whether it's blood cells, skin cells, brain cells. It speeds up the production, because now your body can focus on that instead of just focusing on digestion. When you eat 3 times a day, okay, when you're stuffing your face, okay, when you're on a gluttony trip, your body can't focus on healing. And healing is the most important thing that you should be focusing on. Even though you don't have a healing system that is a top priority, you should make it priority by making digestion system work less. Okay, you're taxing your body out by eating too much. You don't have to eat too much. Okay, and in these times where things are changing and food's gonna be scarce, there's gonna be a food shortage. Eating 3 times a day is not gonna be kosher. Okay, because there's gonna be times where you might have to go a couple days without eating. And some of y'all can't even go a couple hours without eating. You see what I'm saying? In these times, there's gonna be a time where you might have to go a couple days without eating, and some of y'all can't even go a couple hours without stuffing your damn face. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when famine hits and food shortages is here? This is why you gotta get on your job. Start practicing. Start fasting. Start learning how to go without. Okay? Not only is it good for you mentally, but it's good for you physically and spiritually. Okay? Because when your body is hungry and you haven't ate, okay, your senses become sharp. Okay? Just everything's become sharp. You start to think straight. I know it sounds counterproductive, like, well, how am I going to think straight when I'm hungry and all I'm thinking about is food? Well, I don't know. It's just your senses become heightened, right? Your focus becomes sharp. I'm not saying starve yourself to death. I'm just saying you're gonna have to get uncomfortable. You're gonna have to get really, really uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. You're gonna have to get really uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. And fasting is really uncomfortable, but it's all in the mind, right? Those worms bubbling in your gut are gonna tell you you're hungry, but you're gonna have to ignore it. Um, so basically, as far as diet goes, like I was saying before, right now at this current moment, and it's taken me 2 years to get here, all I eat is fruit juices. I got a blender. I throw a whole bunch of fruits in there. Okay, I got one concoction where I mix a whole bunch of shit. There's one concoction where I mix cucumber, pineapple, watermelon, sweet melon, cantaloupe, uh, and some bananas, right? And peanut butter and some vanilla Kai milk, and I mix it all together, man. I'm telling you, it's the best fruit shake I ever had. And I just sip on that all day. You know what I mean? That's my one meal. It's literally fruit juice. And you know what I'm saying? Like, on that diet, I really don't go to the bathroom to potty that much because what I'm digesting is in liquid form. So I'm already giving my body, I'm already cutting digestion in half. When you eat solid, when you eat anything solid, your body has to use energy to break that down into liquid. The acids have to break it down in your stomach and make it liquid so it can take all the minerals and nutrients, right, that it needs into your body and throw out the rest of the waste, right? So I'm already cutting that in half because I did go all the way down from eating one meal a day, right, to making that one meal a bunch of fruits and eating it solid, apples, oranges, grapes, what I'm saying, watermelon, just eating it raw, right? To the point where I'm just like, you know what? I can't even eat it raw no more because that's too filling. So I just grind it all up and make a concoction, make a fruit cocktail. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I sip on all day, and that's my nutrients. So I pretty much get my nutrients from A to Z from just grinding it all up, and then I cut out the digestion process of breaking the solids down, right? I mean, when you chew the food, you're already helping to break it down, but you don't chew it completely. You don't grind it all the way to a liquid. But when I'm already drinking this liquid, I've already cut out the acid breaking down digestive part. Now we go straight to the nutrients, just get the nutrients out. So I'm high energy all day, you know? I'm not getting food coma from what I eat, because that's what food coma is. When you stuff your face and you get tired, that's because your body literally needs to use a lot of energy to digest that food. And it's pretty much saying, hey, you need to go to sleep, because the only way I can do this digestive system function is with your ass knocked out. And your body does a lot of digestion when you're sleeping, and you know it works overtime and faster when you're asleep. So your body says, tells your brain, I need to go to sleep because we need to get to work breaking down this food, So already I avoid food coma, just drinking fruit juices, because I'm trying to get my body and my mind and my spirit ready, you know. Intermittent fasting every day, getting ready, because if the famine comes, I have to be ready to go a couple days without eating just to save food, because with all the chaos that's going to be going on out there, you don't want to be out there, hustling and rummaging for food, so you're going to have to ration. You're going to have to eat what you can to weather the storm, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'll definitely make videos where we can talk about dieting and fasting, I have a bunch of them that you can listen to already, but I'll continue to reiterate that point. But I'm really just trying to talk about, this is the last call. This is the last reset, okay? Because we're going into a new age, right? If you know anything about astronomy and astrology, right? We just left the Piscean age, and now we're going into the Aquarian age. And the Aquarian age is all about unveiling the truth. It's revelation, okay? It's moving out of the 3D paradigm. It's moving out of the 3D mindset into a fifth dimensional mindset of thinking. What's a fifth dimensional mindset of thinking? You can't think about money, okay? You can't think about work usurping your energy for money and paying bills. That's three-dimensional. So that has to go, right? The thing is, these elites, they don't want to get rid of that. They still want you to pay bills. They just want a new way of you paying bills instead of using cash. You know what I'm saying? If you still have using paper, they want to make it a cashless society. Make everything digital, right? So they can keep track of what you're spending on and where your money's going, right? And if they can control that too, and how much you spend. But it's all just numbers anyway. You know what I mean? And the belief in money is what's driving the system. So once you understand that money is just paper and it's just used to usurp energy, it's a fourth dimensional tool used to usurp your energy, then you can start to wrap your mind around the idea of getting used to not worrying about money, not using money, because that's what we're going into. We're going into the fifth dimension, okay? And the fifth dimension, money is not something that we use. Money is not something to worry about. If people want to use it, that's fine. But the new earth that we're going to, we're not going to be worrying about that. Okay? But this global reset is taking place. It has to happen. That's why the Rushmen going against Ukrainians, and eventually the Shinwa will join forces. They said that the germs are going to join forces with us, but we'll see how they go, if they really on our side. But the germs say they're going to join forces with the US, but Shinwa has joined forces with the Rushmen, and they got arsenals, okay? They bragged about their arsenals, putting on the Ritz, let you guys know he's got 200 ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic, aerodynamic, faster than the speed of sound, missiles. that can level a whole city. You know, anything within the 500-mile radius. All right. So he's got 200 of those, and that's what he told us. But of course, he's probably got more than that. And you know, they want to go to battle, so it's not looking too good. And prophecy has it that those missiles are going to hit American soil, so we gotta be prepared for that. That's why the celebrities are buying bunkers and they getting ready to go under the ground because they don't want to be on the surface for what's going to take place. You know, they want to be here to after the reset. After there's only 1 million people here, they want to emerge. You know what I mean? That's what they're hoping is going to happen. Um, but this reset is being orchestrated, and whatever is being done here, as above, so below. That's one of the rules. So that means something in the higher place, right? Because there's order to this universe. Something in the higher place is allowing this to happen. Okay? They're allowing this to happen because, in a way, it's a test. It's a test for humanity. And even though it looks gruesome, in order for humanity to wake up, it's going to have to go through some dark times. And humanity has already been through a lot, but this is the last time. This is the last time where the consciousness of humanity has to literally shift. You know, it has to shift and say, you know what, is this? We've had enough of the old way of living. We're ready for the new technology. We're ready for flying cars. We're ready for free energy, right? We're ready to start building technology that complements and helps Mother Earth, not destroy it. Because everything we've done so far has been to the destruction of Mother Earth, right? And Mother Earth is fighting back. She's had enough. You know, she ain't taking that shit no more, you know, so she's throwing down. And you can see there's calamities everywhere. You know what I mean? Fires everywhere. I know out here in Arizona, a lot of places burning up. You got Flagstaff on fire. You got Prescott on fire. You know, a lot of places down in Texas is burning up. You know, so, you know, Mother Earth is cleansing herself. And she's going to cleanse herself through fire. You know, she already cleansed herself through water. She already cleansed herself through ice. Now it's going to be through fire. You know what I mean? And whether it's through molten lava from volcanoes, whether it's through fire, through the forest, whether it's through the ICBM missiles, whether it's the radiation from the sun, she's cleaning up, right? And a great separation is taking place, a great reset, you know, and it's going to be survival of the fittest, and that's what the great separation is, you know. The strongest will survive, and the weak will perish, you know. But right now, it's not just about physical strength. It's also about mental strength, right? Those who mentally can see what's going on, those who intellectually can understand, you know, what's taking place. Those are the ones who, you know, those who understand on a deeper level why this is happening, why it has to happen, right? Because it's all spiritual, you know. If if your spirit told you to go take the snake bite venom, then that's what it did. And some people's spirit told them not to. And as you can see, 2 years later, you know, it didn't even really matter. It was a big okie doke, and I don't know why people ain't mad. And now they telling you you don't have to put on the face diaper when you travel anymore. You know, so you know that's a setup. When they tell you not to do something, you know they trying to release something to get y'all really bumped up. So y'all gotta watch that. You know what I'm saying? When they tell you to take it off, put it back on. When they tell you to put it on, take it off. Matter of fact, just use discernment. Use spiritual discernment. You gotta go within. Okay, but just know that these damn devils, they've lied, and they're gonna keep on lying, and they're gonna lie to the very end. Alright, they've already made their mind up that they're not gonna give up, and they're gonna go all the way out in blood to the end. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't ready to ride this thing out, if you ain't ready to go to war, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. We at war, so You have to be ready to go to war mentally and physically, because that's what it's going to come down to, right? But you got to be prepared, because all kind of things are going to come at you from all different kind of angles, you know. So that's why you have to do the shadow work. You have to dig deep down and make sure that that darkness doesn't consume you. You don't get hungry and do something drastic. You go take from somebody else, or you go hurt somebody else, or even hurt your own. You know what I mean? But it's the last chance. It's the last call. You know. Um, I just feel like it's the last chance for us to get it right. That's why I'm diligently and vehemently working hard towards something. You know what I mean? Like, I got a new set of goals. I'm not, my goal ain't to get that house. My goal ain't to get that car. My goal ain't to get that job. My goal ain't to make this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? My goal is to usher in this new earth. My goal is to wake people up so this system can come crashing down as quick as possible, so we can get to rebuilding the new earth with this new technology, right? Because all of us deserve to be living heaven on earth. Right now, this is hell on earth. You know what I'm saying? This is hell on earth. That's the one good thing that I like about earth, is that I can get to, what I'm saying, puff a little bit, relax, and forget about the troubles of the world. But if I was living on heaven on earth, I wouldn't even have to, what I'm saying, get blitz. I wouldn't even have to get high. Because I'd be high off life. But I know that the life I'm living, I'm stuck in the matrix, and, you know, that's my only escape. So as far as this matrix, that's the one thing I've been trying to give up. But when I give up, I get to see, I do see reality for what it is. But it's really difficult to handle, I will say. When your eyes is open and you woke, it's just life is tough and depressing. You know what I mean? Because you see what's happening, you see what's going on, and you know what's gonna happen, and it's like you try to be positive and go day to day without thinking about the worst, but the worst is yet to come, because that's the only way you can get to the good part. And it just sucks because I'm empathetic and I don't like to see people suffer, you know? I don't like to see anybody get hurt. I don't like to see good people get hurt. And a lot of good people are gonna suffer because of lack of knowledge, because they don't know what's going on. They ain't paying attention to the signs and the time. It's a global reset, y'all. Economic system is gonna be reset. It's gonna crash. Political system is gonna be done for. You know, if the OBAMA man comes back, then you already know this is the end. If he comes back for a third term, you know what I'm saying? If the Obama nation comes back for a third term, then you already know it's over, right? But Trump just needs to go ahead and do what he has to do. You know what I mean? And put the truth out there and release Larry Hoover from prison. But I don't think he's gonna do it. But just know that this is the last chance. It's the last call for alcohol. It's a global reset taking place. They're trying to depopulate us. So get on your job, guys. Get on your semen retention. Get on your dieting. Get on your fasting, because it's about to get really real out here, y'all. It's about to get real, 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 real serious out there, man. So keep your head up to the sky. Like I said, we're almost at the end of this thing. So stay on your job, alright? This is King Astro for all y'all who wanna wanna what, wanna know. Let's go. I'll catch you on the next video, alright? Peace.